at Big Bertha just chilling back there. What up, Bertha girl? Hey there, my name is Brittany if you're new here. If not, thanks for coming back. And today I wanted to show you how to make these cute little turkey cake pops, which are perfect for the holidays. And let me tell you what, these were super duper easy. Going into our ingredients, you're going to need cake mix. I chose chocolate since the outer of the turkey is brown and it just keeps it consistent. And since I got chocolate cake mix, I'm going to be using chocolate frosting. And if you're doing a different flavor and different color, make sure you coordinate your frosting with your cake mix. No matter what flavor you chose for the inside, make sure you get chocolate candy melts because turkeys are brown, not purple, pink, green, whatever dang color you think of. And for our feathers, you're going to need candy corn. If you're having a hard time finding it, I found mine at Aldi, and I also heard you can find it year-round at Cracker Barrel. They were all sold out at Walmart and Target, so you can check yours out, but good luck. And to give a little face to the turkey, you're going to need these eyeballs, which you can easily find at Walmart or Target. And obviously, you're going to need some sticks to hold up the cake pops. If you can, find some thick ones because once we add all the decorations, they're going to be a little bit heavy for anything thinner than what I have here. And you can get a foam block from the craft section because we're going to stick our cake pops there to dry. And last but not least, we're going to need some vegetable shortening, or you can use coconut oil for a healthier alternative. The first thing you want to do is make your cake, but just follow directions on the back of the box in case you have something different from mine. And you're going to make it just like a normal cake. And I had to throw in this shot because who doesn't love the way that the cake mix looks when it's all smooth like this? But once it comes out, you're going to notice that it has a little bit of a harder top. You're going to let it completely cool down to room temperature and you're going to scrape off that top. You can just use a butter knife. It just has to be a very thin layer. Now we do this because it's going to be a lot harder to mold if you leave the hard layer on top. We're going to take a quick PSA here to remind you to wash your hands with soap and hot water for at least 20 seconds, or you can count to your ABCs. Because if you didn't notice in the last shot, we will be using our hands during this recipe, and we just want to be very health conscious and aware of spreading germs, diseases, and all that bad stuff, because it is about that time of the year. Moving on with the program, we have come to a very fun part where we're going to get down and dirty. And what you see here is I'm crumbling up this cake. You're going to completely destroy it and crumble it into as many little pieces as you can. And you're going to move that to a big bowl where you're going to add a tablespoon and a half of icing. Now you can add more later on while you're mixing it all up to see if you need it. That's what I ended up doing. And I put on a glove for this because I didn't want icing to get all stuck under my nails. But you're going to mix it all up with your hands and really knead it as if you were making bread. And make sure it comes out to sort of a Play-Doh consistency where it's thick and squishy. You can choose to use a cookie scooper or a cake pop scooper for this next step of molding the cake pop, but I decided to save some money and freehand it. The only downside to doing this is you're going to get different sizes of cake pops, but that's okay if you are celebrating Thanksgiving with, say, children and adults. The children don't have to have the big ones, they can have the small ones. In a microwave-safe bowl, you're going to put a few of those candy melts, and in 30-second intervals, you're going to melt them. You may need a spoon to stir it around to make sure it's completely melted. And you're going to grab one of those sticks and cover just a little bit of the end of it. And to make it stay in the cake pop, you're going to push it down until right about the middle of the cake pop. And you're going to throw them in the freezer for 20 minutes to harden and make sure that that cake pop really stays on that stick. So my suggestion is don't put all these candy melts in a tall glass. I would actually put it in a bowl first and then make sure it's all melted and everything and then move it over to a tall glass. But I figured that out after I already recorded. But once again, you're going to do 30-second intervals to completely melt all that candy. And once you get it to the super creamy consistency, you're going to put a teaspoon and a half of that Crisco in there. And this is what makes it sort of a little bit of a watery texture, and that's what you want, because otherwise the candy melt is going to be too thick and it's going to be really, really hard to work with when dipping the cake pop in. And once the Crisco is melted in there, you're going to dip your cake pop, and you don't want to spin it because it will create this weird pattern on the cake pop. But if you're having a little bit of a difficult string here that just won't come off, just tap your wrist and it will. Now onto my absolute favorite part. We are going to decorate the little guy. Now you are going to have to work kind of fast because this stuff does dry, but you're going to put 2 eyeballs on, and then with your candy corn, you're going to cut off the white end and use that as the beak, and then you're going to use the rest of the candy corn as feathers. And as you can see, I had a difficult time with putting the feathers on because the candy melt dried, but I just dipped it in some of the one in the cup and just put it right on there, and it stayed. And voila, now you have a cute turkey for the holiday. If you like what I'm doing here and you want to see more, be sure to hit that red subscribe button. And if you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up. And if you have any suggestions or you just like what's going on here, be sure to comment so I can talk back to you. All right, y'all, have a blessed and beautiful day. See you next time.
I finally get to see the Cubs win in the World Series in my lifetime. People have been born and died and didn't get to see this moment.